hope my audio's on. Let's pause this. Go.
All right, so here's the question then. Since you think that Black people cry about slavery, you know, it's this, the state of Texas basically want to take that out of their history books, or not say that we were slaves, but say we were unpaid workers. What do you feel about that and us crying about it?
I don't agree with that. I mean, history is history. You can't erase history. But history also shows that the dominant class will come through and they will dictate the history. If they got to take and do away with, I mean, back in the day, motherfuckers are taking burned books and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? To erase any traces of history. That's just a fact of the way things are. You know, only thing we could try to do is try to preserve our history. But like I said,
why do you think they would try to ignore that though? Why do you think that they wouldn't want people to know about that?
Well, to me, it's pretty obvious that they don't want to be held accountable for it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, it's fucked up. I don't agree with that at all. But that's not going to be the thing that I spend my life worrying about. Not when, you know, you only got so much time on this planet. It's just like, you know, it just, to me, it just don't make sense to keep beating that drum over and over and over and over when I could take some of that same time and go out and make a difference in my life and around me.
I get that though. I get that.
You
Trust me, I'm living my life every day. I'm in the here and now. I get that. It's not like every day I wake up like, damn, you know, it's fucked up. I'm Black and this white person over here got all this bounty and shit, and I'm sitting here with a coffee can on my stove. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'm not thinking like that, but you know what I'm saying? But it is a damn shame that because I'm Black and, you know, because I am Black, for me not to have that coffee can on my stove, I had to fight, work, scratch, cry, blood, sweat, and tears 12 times harder than somebody who basically is doing and got the same thing I do. The only difference is they're white. I mean, I don't, you know, it's not an everyday thing that I think about, but my thing is it's out there in the present. You know, it's in the forefront of my mind most of the time because I can see the injustice and stuff, and then that makes me think about my children. Mm-hmm. They don't deserve that. So that's why I do and say what I do. So maybe there's a chance that my children can benefit and have all the, the rights and privileges of an American citizen.
Okay, I feel you on that to a certain degree, but at the same time, in all honesty, I don't know what these white motherfuckers do. All I know is what I do. And I know I get up and I go to work and I see white motherfuckers doing 8, 10, 12 hours just like me. At right now, today. And I'm going from the present right now, what I'm going through. I'm not discrediting anything before me or anything that's going to come in the future. That's what I'm looking at. And I see motherfuckers up in there working their motherfucking ass off. And I'm not trying to...
Life don't work like that. You play sports, so you can't come into the middle of the fourth inning and completely ignore the whole game behind you.
No, true indeed, but I have no control over what happened 50 years ago. I wasn't even on the planet.
I know that.
So
we're not talking about controlling. We're not talking about controlling. We're talking about acknowledging. Because the problem with I'm talking about white people.
Let me ask you something.
Where white people.
What did you want to be when you grew up? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
What did you want to do when you grew up? Are you doing what you wanted to do?
I wanted to be a baseball player.
Okay.
When I grew up. But I can tell you why I'm not a baseball player. I'm not a professional baseball player. I can tell you exactly why.
You're not Dominican.
I looked at a little bit, you know. I mean, a little bit. But no, I can tell you exactly why. In all honesty, even as a kid, I knew why. Because for one, I didn't take my coach's advice. You remember Coach Vassell? Anybody remember Coach Vassell?
That white bow-legged man.
Right. Coach Vassell was going to send me to Cincinnati to play ball. I thought I was too good. That's what he wanted to do. I thought, this is a white man now. He was going to send me to Cincinnati to play ball. I thought I was too good. I don't need to play ball. I'm going to sit out my senior year. So I did. Guess what? Didn't play ball. Whose fault was that? Was that the coach's fault or was that my decision? It was my decision. Who knows? Maybe I'd have went to Cincinnati, played ball. Maybe I'd have got a deal. Maybe I'd have been playing pro ball. But I fucked that up. That's something I deal with. I can't say was clearly he saw something in me that was good enough to go to that level, and I didn't see it. I got too hot-headed. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. I just play later. Later turned into 20 years. Okay. So I can't blame nobody for that. That's my point. That's my decision. I fucked that up.
In that one instance, that would be yes, you fucked it up.
Sure.
I want to go back to my analogy of baseball because we can't talk about past 50 years. First of all, we've been in this country for 400 years. So this whole move past the stuff, we've had 400 years of move past it. And 400 years of move past it has gotten us nothing.
And out of the 400 years, we've only been technically free for about 60, give or take.
So why do we keep waiting for a fair fucking shake when it ain't coming?
Just here we go. Okay, so now here we go.
We accept that and shuffle our feet and tuck our heads.
Wait, no, okay. No. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay, I understand. Now I understand what you're saying. So you're absolutely correct. This is two things, but it's always more than one conversation happening. So there's conversations that you have with white people, and then there's conversations that you have when you ain't got no company present. So the conversation that I was always taught growing up, and I teach my doggone children. Look, the world ain't fair. Shit's fucked up. No difference if you was in the baseball game, right? Look, the goddamn ref is fucking cheating. The umpire is not gonna call strikes. Are we gonna walk off the field? Fuck no. Play harder, beat that motherfucker at his game.
Goddamn right.
That's there. Now there's that part. Now you got 400 years of trying to beat these motherfuckers at the game. So my whole thing is you're absolutely right. Trying to assimilate into white culture has not happened, which is why I'm a firm believer that we should burn this bitch to the ground. Not joking.
And one thing is if we unite too much, they will find a way to break that down.
That's why we're supposed to protect each other. That's one thing we don't do. We emulate a lot of shit.
Theoretically, you're correct.
Anytime, wait. If we want to go back
in the 20th century alone, there were 32 massacres in the continental United States, right? 32 massacres of black society.
United.
Those people protected themselves. They were united. Those communities fought with one another, and this country still destroyed them. It ain't about fighting for one another. Because even when we do, they still destroy. That's the nature of this country.
What era are we talking about, Dre?
What
era are you talking about when we was fighting for each other?
We're talking about 32. We're talking about 32 times in the 20th century.
In the 20th century.
Where these communities, black communities, were together.
We built our own. We took care of our own. We had our own.
Those were people who was fighting with each other. You sit up there. I mean, we see what's on the news, but then again, that's media. You don't speak for every black person in this city.
No, I can't do that.
You can't possibly speak every black person in this city.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not even going that far with it. All I'm saying is this.
This right here, what is going on, Kennard, is the fight for one another. The fight to acknowledge what you've done to us. For us to find ways to get ahead. To get your fucking foot off our necks. That's part of the fucking fight. Whether people believe in this shit or not, it's still part of the fight.
I'm saying regardless if they acknowledge, no. I'm saying regardless if they acknowledge that shit or not, you move forward regardless. You gotta.
Kennard, you can't move forward. Kennard, you can't move forward.
Bullshit. You gotta tell. No. Hold on, John. Wait.
All right. Okay. Go ahead.
Because if they saw us working together and doing more stuff, as a unit, moving in synchronicity and stuff, they're gonna shut that shit down like they always do. The Black Panthers and shit was taking care of their own communities. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't doing anything wrong. They was doing everything that the white people do. They can walk with their guns. They can do all that shit, but they was feeding and educating Black people, building up their minds and giving them strength. What did they do to the Black Panthers?
So okay, if we go out, yeah, it's definitely tragic what happened with Brother Fred Hampton. It's tragic that what happened with all them guys. I'm not taking nothing away from that. But all I'm talking about is this. I'm talking about in your own homes. I'm talking about with
nope, it can't be wait,
bullshit.
No, you know, you
bullshit.
just said no.
I'm not. I can't buy that. I can't. I'm
not
trying to. No.
Community.
Right. It's got to start at home first, bro.
I can't look only at my home.
It's no. It's got to start at home first before you go into the community. You got to get the home together first. The home is the first one. Am I right?
Okay.
So you telling me that there's no history in my home, though?
It's a kind of symbiotic thing because you can't have a good home in a bad community. You know what I'm saying?
Bullshit. That's bullshit. Like you don't have no control over your house and you live there.
Let me rephrase that. It's a lot of good homes in the Black community.
Exactly.
Right? So why isn't it more?
I can't control.
Why aren't good homes the standard?
What did Dre just say?
Dre
just answered that. Dre just answered that. I don't think for every person. That means I don't think like every person, every Black person. I can't control that part of it. That's
right.
You pushing your opinion off on every other Black person by saying basically it starts at home and being adamant about it.
Because and I'll explain why. Because at the end of the day, if you cannot get to the community level, everybody just worried about their homes, the community will fix it.
That's what fucked it up. That's what fucked it up.
No. Kennard, we have evidence. Okay, right now, the only people, right, the only side of this argument that has evidence is the side that says a working community will still get fucked up by white people. There is no evidence of you saying that a community is not gonna get fucked over by white people.
I'm not saying that ain't gonna happen. I don't cut you off, bro. But look,
go ahead.
We don't own the fucking game, but we can play the game to our advantage. Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
No, you cannot. You are living proof of it.
No, you're not. No,
so is Anthony.
No. We're not living proof. You're not living proof.
Let me tell you something. You are an exception to the rule. Johnny is an exception to the rule. Andre is an exception to the rule.
The game that white people listen, Kennard. The game that white people are playing is not mass extermination all at once. They were never really playing that game.
Okay.
They came up, they went to go get some niggas and came over the ones to work and all the rest of that stuff. They could have wiped us out long fucking time ago. If they really wanted to, they could have just went and we ain't never been larger than the fucking 13-14% we are now. They could have wiped us off the face of this fucking earth. You said why haven't they done that?
No.
Okay. Since the time of that, white people have been killing niggas that for sport since the inception, before the inception of this country. Why haven't they stopped? Are you saying there's something that we can do to stop them? Because they haven't stopped.
Why haven't
They've never stopped? They haven't taken a break. They've never stopped. So why is that?
Why haven't we stopped? Because let me tell you something.
No. Kennard, you're asking the question with a question.
Okay.
Why haven't we're talking about white people?
Why haven't they stopped?
I'll answer why Black people haven't stopped, but why haven't white people stopped?
Because
from the beginning.
Because Black people ain't gonna protect each other. The truth of the matter is, I think the majority of us don't give a fuck about our neighbors, and that's why it's easy to come in.
My question is why do white people?
Why are they still doing what they're doing?
Right.
Whether we're protecting ourselves or not should not mean that they got to do all the evil shit that they do.
Hold on, Eb. I'm gonna get you. Let me give you 1 second with that. Let me go back to John so we can talk about that. John, now you asked, why won't white people stop killing us?
Yes. Since before this country was formed, right? Since before this country was formed to present day, they have been killing us at a steady rate. They have not let off the gas. Why is that the case?
At a steady rate. What's the steady rate, John?
The steady rate of just straight up homicide.
A number. Give me a number. Any number.
I don't know the rate of execution.
You see what I'm going at?
That's not important information.
It is important. It is important. Hold on, wait. I want to figure out. I gotta talk to Eb too. It is important because anytime you sit up here and you hear about in one weekend where these niggas is shut up and set up and shot up all these black people over the weekend in Chicago alone.
We ain't talking
People say
about them.
nothing about that.
Kennard,
That's my problem.
I
That's
will
the problem I
accept.
got.
Kennard,
Those are
I'll
do
black
accept it.
lives.
The whole situation to some other bullshit.
No, it's not a whole
It
different
bothers me
situation.
when people.
Yeah.
It
Why
bothers
is
me
it a-
when black people. That's your argument, almost not to explain away, but that's not a. You can't even compare the two
Why not?
because
If a
it's
black
not the
person's
same
dead, a black
thing.
person's dead.
Okay, wait, no, not the same, not the same. Definitely not the same. Okay,
Oh,
the reason why it's not.
Explain to
Listen,
me
okay,
how.
listen to this part. Listen to this part. A dead body is not a dead body. All dead bodies aren't created equal. And here's the reason why.
Okay.
When we're talking about people that I entrust, case in point, now I'm going to talk about the government and police and all the rest of that stuff. You're a civil servant. I pay my fucking taxes. So those motherfuckers can go and do their job and they can execute justice evenly throughout.
Mm-hmm.
The same way, let's take murder off the table. Let's take murder off the table. A police officer who steals a bag of potato chips has done more wrong than the common person who steals a bag of potato chips. Why? Because I entrust the police department to fucking not to enforce the law. Therefore, they have more of a duty to be sure they live by that law. So if both of those people commit a crime, they're not equal. The police officer has done more wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
It does make sense.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying that all homicides aren't created equal.
What you want?
I disagree.
All right. Hold on, y'all. Y'all hear her fussing at me?
Who's that?
What you want? What you want, Chloe? All right. Hold on.
Doggy.
Okay, so Kennard, all I'm saying, bro, there are multiple conversations that need to be had.
Yeah. Hold on, Johnny. Your mic's out. I can't hear you.
I hear
Can you
you.
hear me now?
There you go. Go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that, God damn it. Okay, so what I'm saying is that, yes, the conversation of like black people, we need to stop killing each other. That's a conversation that needs to be had. Yes, but that's a separate conversation from why white people have not stopped killing us and fucking with us since the beginning of their fucking 400 years ago.
It's not going to stop. I don't have a reason as to why white people do what they do. And I'm not going to make an excuse for it. It's fucked up. But it's even worse, in my opinion, when you don't even can't be safe around your own people. If we know that the police is acting a fucking ass clown and killing niggas and all this and that, and we can't even feel safe around our own, then we really fucked up. That's my point. That's why it really stinks.
I don't know how deep you want to go, but that's also part of the design, and that's they're doing as well.
Wait. So were you saying that somebody forced these niggas to go and shoot up a bunch of black people?
No, I'm not saying that they forced, but what I'm saying is they were conditioned to. Like I said, how deep do you want me to go? Let's start at the Panthers.
Okay.
They eliminated the Panthers by infiltrating it, right? Then right after that, what did they started doing? In the middle of the feminist movement, you got white women telling black women, you don't need your man. And you also got the government telling them, you don't need your man. Let me give you this money. As a matter of fact, I'll keep giving you this money as long as he ain't around.
You're right.
Then also they put drugs in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So here you go. You got generations of women raising men who don't have a father around, or if he is around, he's pretty much powerless because the woman has been put in the black woman's head that she don't need a man.
But who chose this shit? Who chose to pick up the drugs?
You know what? Sometimes it's a forced decision.
How's it a forced decision? Ain't nobody gonna force you to go in.
They take it. Okay, I forgot to mention they didn't took away a lot of the industrial jobs and shit. They taken away the trade schools and stuff. So a lot of black families with the father as the head, he lost his income. So therefore, the woman had to be the one, the breadwinner or whatever. Here comes the state. You know what I'm saying? So it was forced. I mean, it's basically a trickle down effect from what they started in the first place. So what next? I put up today about basically the concept of projects, how they experimented on how projects will work with rats. You put rats in a small spot, and if you put them in a small spot with limited resources long enough, they're gonna start turning on each other.
Of course.
So basically, What did you do? You put us in a small area we can't move out of. The resources is low. We're going to start turning on each other.
Bullshit. You can move wherever you want
Not
to move.
bullshit. That's
Ain't
not
nothing
bullshit.
standing in your way.
You
Ain't nothing
cannot
standing in
move.
your
You
way. I ain't
cannot
trying to
move
hear that.
anywhere you want to. Do you know about redlining? Have you ever heard about redlining?
I've heard of redlining.
Okay, so please tell me and explain to me again how you can move where you want to.
So you telling me
cannot.
basically like we just helpless individuals. We don't have no choice. We got to sit up and take the white man's handouts.
We
That's
not
all
helpless.
we
We
got.
cornered.
We can't do nothing else. We don't have
We
no
not.
options.
We not helpless.
There's no
We
nothing.
are not helpless. We are cornered. That's where we are.
Not all of us, because all of us don't believe we're cornered.
Oh,
You
let
have
me
to see.
let me tell you the other thing. Let me tell you the other thing that happens. Every once in a while, there will be a successful Black story, and they'll use that one successful Black story to tell all these other people that they know that they systematically pressing down. Why can't you be like this person? They Black and they did it. It's made for a few of us to make it and have the American dream. But goddamn it, not all of us. And that's not an excuse. But that's just the way, that's just the way the system is designed.
Okay, but let me ask you this, Eb. You just got through telling me that your daughter was in college, correct?
Yep.
Okay, your son. No.
No.
I just want to make a point. I won't cut you off, but I just want to make a point. Your son, I don't know what he does. Is he in school or what is he? I don't want to,
My son is AP classes, dual enrollment.
Okay.
Looking at Dominican, so I don't know.
Okay. And you are in a relationship, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not homeless, correct?
No.
Okay. You are working, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you not an example of a success story?
No.
How is it not an example? Come on now, be for real. Be for real. This is what I'm talking about.
Okay, but that's
real.
First of all, why is that success? Because I ain't homeless.
No, I
ain't saying you gotta go and have a damn yacht. I'm saying at the bare minimum.
Kennard,
I'm not saying what you are right now.
Kennard, I object to the entire line of questioning, and here's why. The reason why I object to the line of questioning is because you all were just talking about Black people as a community. But to make your point, you went to her as an individual. Yeah, that's not the same thing.
It does. It starts in the house. Then you
No. Kennard, we're talking about Black people as a group. You can't gauge the success of any group based on onesies, twosies.
Oh, I agree there.
Exactly.
I agree there.
So so the question is, why haven't this 13% of Black people, why are Black people locked up at a much larger rate than white people when Black people are the lesser in numbers? Why are police focused in these areas? And I'm talking about when they do the exact same crime. Well, why is that the case? Why would they focus? And the usual retort from white people is that because Black people commit more crime, which is fucking stupid. No, Black people could be caught for more crime, or they just fucking set up for more crime. But white people commit crime the same amount as we do. The difference is if I put two police, in my neighborhood, if I put 5 patrol cars on the route doing in my neighborhood, I'm only going to catch so much traffic because it's only 17,000 people in this fucking bunk ass city. But if I got another community over here that's got 17,000 people and I put 30 cars, the likelihood is I'm probably gonna catch motherfuckers doing shit, especially when I know that those people in this community really ain't got the money to fight it legally, and the police can just start whooping asses. Like they can start whooping asses out here, but people out here got a little bit more money, so you just ain't gonna randomly whoop motherfuckers ass out here. But in the place where they ain't got money, like Chicago, what parts of Chicago, they're like, man, fuck these niggas. What they gonna do? Go get a lawyer? This motherfucker ain't even got bread. Fuck, he gonna find money for a lawyer.
So you think they're basically bullying Black people?
Yeah.
Sounds like.
Since the inception of this fucking yes.
Hey, what you think about it?
What can we do about it?
No, I'm talking about Dre. What Dre think about it? That's what I want to know.
It's true. It's true. You know, we sit up here like the American dream ain't never been the American dream for Black people. Mm-hmm. It ain't never been. You want to pinpoint. Like you said, I see white motherfuckers work as hard as I do. So do I. Mm-hmm. But let me tell you about that shit though. Them white people don't pay the bills that I fucking pay at the rate that I pay them, or at the price or the cost that I pay them. Mm-hmm. I have sat up here and literally living out there in the U46 district in Hanover Park. I watched my pop get pissed off because between him and the two neighbors next to him who were white, their bills were different. And I'm not talking about the mortgage. I'm talking about the property tax ended up being different. The utility cost ended up being different.
Mm.
And it was like, wait a minute. You get what I'm saying? So things different, work different out there. You know what I'm saying? With them knowing the people, you know what I'm saying? And just the availability of the officers in the community. When that shit got crazy when the Hispanics came through there. There's not a lot of black people out there. Still not a whole lot of black people. There's black people, but there's more Hispanics than everything.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? But those things changed. Watching people get different interest rates, watching people get different appraisals, watching people, do the same thing that I'm doing. You said I see people working hard as me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you that the majority of them make more than you.
And
That's why you're not supposed to.
what am I supposed?
pay at
What,
work,
and what,
you
what
know
am I
what
supposed to do about that? Am I supposed to sit around and get mad? Oh man, fuck this, man. It's racism, man. Fuck this. Or do I just mind my shit and make my money? Or if I feel like I need to make a move and go somewhere else and get some more money somewhere else, whatever I feel like I need to do. But rather than sit around and play victim.
It ain't
It's
about
not about playing victim. It's about being aware that shit ain't sweet. I mean, the bottom line is,
Huh?
So you telling me you don't give a fuck?
No, I'm not
Right?
saying I don't give a fuck. I'm saying I'm
No,
not one for making it.
That's how I'm gonna take it. Because what you're saying is I could either work and get my money, right? Instead of fighting for the money of the other brothers who worked with me. No,
That's
fuck
true.
that. I'm gonna get my money or I'm gonna make the move somewhere else to get what the fuck I want. See, that's
that wasn't
problem.
a community. That wasn't a community statement.
No,
No, it may not have been, but that's the reality.
But you were arguing for a
see,
community.
you know what? And
everybody else.
you said something earlier about how it starts at home. And basically you were saying, worry about your home. That's one of the reasons that the neighborhoods or the community broke down too, because everybody started tending for themselves. I don't give a, don't say nothing to my child. I'm gonna handle my child. That was also a breakdown in the community when we stopped being a community and just people living around each other.
Mm-hmm. You got a good point.
All right, your
How many of y'all got checked by y'all neighbors if y'all was doing something wrong? I remember getting smacked on my butt by my neighbor when I did something wrong and then got sent home and got my ass beat because of that. You know what I'm saying? When we start looking at ourselves as a village, as a unit, that was one of the breakdowns, which explains why we got a lot of this shooting and shit going on. If you really want to go there, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I get that.
You can't look at.
Dre, your mic out. I can't hear you.
You can't look at this entire fight as people whining and crying, right? It's right there. What you just said kind of proves that whole point that you made. You made the point and you proved it in the same breath, right? Why do white people do what they do to us? Because we don't fight for one another. You said, let me do my time and go home. Fuck everybody else. You may not think that's what you said, but in my ears, that's exactly what you said. Let me get my money and go home and mind mine. Your words, which means you don't give a fuck about me. You making $18 an hour, and I'm not saying that's what you make, but you making $18 an hour. But Billy over here making $22 an hour. He came in 2 weeks after me, right? And that's probably because Billy went to the table and actually had a conversation. That's a whole nother situation that black folks don't know how to do is negotiate their own money, right? Okay. But let's say that, right? And you find out by whatever circumstances. So now you and the other brothers there are saying, well, damn, we all make 18, but every white person that walked through here make 22, right? And you say, well, look, man, what we got is what we got. Let's get our money and go the fuck home. That ain't giving a fuck about your brother.
So basically, you saying basically it's to like basically challenge the whole shit.
Yes.
You gotta challenge the system.
Yes.
You absolutely have to challenge the system.
Challenge, yes.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, but it's a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? But until we figure out the tactful way to do it, I mean, you ain't
Tactful?
gonna be able to.
Tactful?
You have to be
Why
tactful.
do we have to be
Tactful.
tactful?
You should be
Why do
tactful.
we
Because
have to
what?
be tactful?
what-
They not
Kennard,
tactful with
Kennard,
nothing that they
Kennard,
do.
hold on, Ebony. Kennard,
We didn't even get here.
Kennard, hold on,
We didn't
Ebony,
even
hold on.
get to this country tactfully. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they came over there and said, "Excuse me, sir, do you mind if I put these chains on you and beat your ass a little while and work you to death?"
And bullets don't.
So what do you
hurt.
suggest? So what are you suggesting then?
Burn this bitch to the ground.
Then ain't nobody eating shit then. Now we burn this.
I'm fine with that.
ground.
I'm fine with that.
Now what we gonna
So my question is, and yes, I'm gonna go back then because it really wasn't that long ago. My grandmother was alive, my mother was alive, my father was alive. So the civil rights movement wasn't tactful.
Yeah,
That wasn't peaceful.
It was. It was.
Right? But that's the same shit. You just said it. We have to be tactful. We tried
Why-
tactful.
So why they get fucked up along in the civil rights act? Yeah.
Okay, so then y'all basically saying revolution, right?
And
That's what it
even
sounds
with
like
them
to
being
me.
tactful,
I'm
they
a
got
full-fledged
attacked
believer in
by
revolution.
dogs. They got
I know,
beat.
Johnny,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Even when we tried to be tactful with them, they still came at us with that same barbaric shit that they've been doing since the beginning, that they asses started cooking they fucking meat.
There needs to be a lot more dead white people.
All right, well,
That's what
I
I
don't know who, look, I don't know who gonna take them the fuck out, but I know this much. I know, in my opinion, and I know Eb said basically against what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it again. I think it's the best option, especially now in the midst of this pandemic where everything was starting to shut down on its own and motherfuckers is tearing shit down. This is the best time for people to go and get some resources and put the resources together and get their shit started the way they want to do it and stop worrying about what these white motherfuckers doing and ain't doing and do your own thing.
I would agree with
in
that.
theory that
But
works, but I'm sorry, Johnny. They gonna shut all that shit down. Do you know what happened during the pandemic? Since it was a perfect time, it was a transition of wealth unlike that hadn't happened in centuries. They shut that shit down. What was it? GameStop.
Yeah.
All that shit with GameStop was changing the game. Poor people was getting rich. A
Mm.
lot of poor people was getting
You know
rich.
who
They said,
facilitated
"No,
that
this
shit?
is
And
too
they
much right
lit-
here," and they shut that. And it didn't matter whether it was black or white. So that's another point. It's not. It's
No,
sometimes
Ebony,
you know.
Ebony, no. But the thing was is that the facilitator of that shit, the person who leaked the information was black.
Mm.
Oh,
was
well,
it?
there
I
you
didn't know
go.
that.
See,
Trader, there was a
you
black
learn
trader.
something
Yeah.
new every day.
I
Mm.
didn't know
You
that.
learn something new
I didn't
every
know that
day.
either.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to just uplift the people. He was just like, fuck it, everybody, let's get it. Right? You know
And
what
they
I'm saying?
changed the law
Hey,
because poor people, like Ebony said, they didn't give a fuck about black because poor people came up and was
Oh,
and
trust
and
me.
they and poor people
They
they realized
really-
that poor people
Oh,
can
it's
topple
not
a
even with privilege. It's still white people out here that's fucked in the game too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Straight up, right? That's what I'm saying. You can get that collateral damage. White folks is gonna get caught. White folks losing their motherfucking houses and shit. A couple years ago when Bush had all that bullshit going on, white folks was fucking homeless. You know what I'm saying? All these businesses in the pandemic, these white motherfuckers lost their businesses too. Some of their shit got burnt down too. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
gotta have a business to have your business burnt down. It's not the same.
Well, I agree. But the fact is, them motherfuckers lost. Not, I don't know as much.
Well, you
as,
know what? Of course they gonna lose because there's still more of them than us. So of course more of them lost. But the point, I mean, even beyond black and white, it's rich and poor.
True indeed.
Sadly enough, the majority of us are poor, so we feel it the most. But what's happening is remember that middle class that everybody used to talk about? That
That
shit
shit
is
don't exist.
vanishing.
That
So
shit
it's
don't
rich
exist.
and poor. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So do
And
you
believe
believe?
me, we still gonna be poorer than them because we have no generational wealth. Now, back to redlining, we would have had generational wealth because we would have had property. We would have owned something. We could have borrowed against and got money and sent our kids to school and stuff like that. But no, they didn't want us in those neighborhoods and shit, or they gave us them damn subprime whatevers, and we don't have it. So yeah, we it's a race, and they didn't took their lap, and we still at the start, the starting line.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
You
set
know,
up that way.
it took CPS until the early 2000s to start teaching economics, and they still don't teach it in the inner city schools.
Huh.
So does that mean that we don't learn economics? Oh.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We don't learn financial. We're not financially
Not.
literate.
I was raised by my great grandmother still picked cotton, although she did make about 2 cents per pound, and you had to pick 100 pounds of cotton.
Mm.
But she came from the South. Her parents were the children of slaves. You get what I'm saying? So the thought of credit, the thought, you know what I'm saying, of business and things, those things weren't passed. You got to understand, those things weren't taught in the Black community in the 70s, 80s, and half of the 90s, right? We didn't get this knowledge until the end of the 90s, the early 2000s.
Because
A
probably
lot of schools, a lot of CPS still don't teach it because they don't have the resources to teach it, right? You can get an econ teacher and say, well, no, we need that person on the north side at this school. We need that person in the suburbs at this school. You know what I'm saying? Don't think that just because a person has a teaching degree that they get to teach what they want to teach.
Oh no. It's all set.
No, I'm just saying in general. So there's a lot of things, man, in our communities we're just now learning. So when she's saying we didn't have generational wealth, it was because we didn't have the knowledge and the resources. So it's always going to be hard because we can start to build those resources. And again, 32 massacres in the 20th century, because these resources were available in these communities were policing themselves. Crime rates were low and everything. But it was too many Black folks getting too much money doing their own thing. And they were not a part, paying the taxes to the government and everything.
I said the same government that they paid into.
Didn't need the government. They didn't need white people.
So in closing, go ahead.
I was going to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
You asked me about my daughter being in college. My daughter did almost 2 years at Illinois State. Right. But let me tell you why she didn't. She's.
I can't hear you, Ab. Your mic went out.
What about now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. My daughter was, she graduated from North Lawndale. She had honor classes, honor roll, good student, smart as hell. But when she went to school with a whole bunch of kids from a whole different, from all different, let's say, economic backgrounds, that's where we realized where the lack was, because even though she was smart as hell in the city school in her neighborhood, when these kids had the resources and the funding to learn and be taught on a completely different level, she is not, I'm not gonna say she couldn't compete, but it was hard.
Okay, so we got 1:50 left. We're gonna close this one out. Eb, as far as white privilege, what's your final thoughts on white privilege? We're gonna do it quick.
We wear it like a coat. Well, they wear it like a coat.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Johnny, what's your final thoughts on white privilege?
Kill these motherfuckers, burn this bitch down.
Okay, well that's cool with me. Dre, what's your final thoughts on white privilege?
Fight. Shit. I'm all for the fight, man. I'm all for taking the shit to them. I'm not asking for equality. I'm just asking for the level of playing field. You know what I'm saying? In some form or fashion.
And my final thoughts on white privilege are, in spite of white privilege, believe in yourself. Take, you have a brain and you have a body and you got ideas. You go out in the world and take a shot. Life's a gamble. You never know what you can do until you try. Don't make excuses, make it happen. This is the Uncommon Sense Show. I want to thank everybody for being here for an outstanding show. We had a fucking blast, man. This shit was on point tonight, Jack. I know the next one gonna be better. I ain't gonna be here next week, y'all, but Eb gonna take the horns and run the show. So I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all gonna talk about next week and how that's gonna go. Yeah, I would be a viewer this week. I'm gonna catch it on the back end, but